Yeah, hi, good morning, both of you. Really nice for you to agree that you're going to do this with me for our awards nomination process. What would be great today is if I can ask you, you've both been judges previously, and one of the things that I would love to hear from you is when you were doing that judging, what were the things that stood out for you from those nomination forms? Because we all know that sometimes, as judges, you might be looking at, I don't know, 15 or even 20 nominations. Three of those you're going to say are going to be your chosen finalist. And then which of those three is going to be your chosen winner? Going back to your having done judging, not just maybe last year, but perhaps the year before.
What I often look for in a nomination is a good level of detail, some insight into who that person is, because we don't know the people that are being nominated, and we're relying on the people around them to give a really good description of their personality, their values, what it is that they are doing that stands out above the rest. Also, we are looking for those actions that they've taken that fit with the category. So when we're looking at the criteria, as much detail as possible is really, really helpful. There was a story about a lady who had really gone above and beyond. That nomination had given a lot of detail into how long she'd been working in the service, her relationships with her colleagues, how she interacted and engaged with the residents in that service. And the one thing that stood out was that this person had made additional effort to bring some of the, I think it was baby lambs from her partner's farm, and had brought them in to spend time with the residents, which had huge therapeutic benefits. And all of us come to work in the care sector to do a good job, but that just, to me, showed a huge amount of commitment, and it was so aligned with the category that we were judging for.
Looking at all the nominations, it's so important to have something that stands out. I can remember one nomination I was reading, and it was this lady who she made sure it was all to do with birthdays, and she made sure everybody had a birthday cake for the members of not only just the residents, but for the staff as well. So it made her so she did a really good job ordinarily, as all the rest of her staff did, or her colleagues did, but the cakes made her that little bit different.
Some of the best nominations that we've had have detailed exactly how that difference has been made. So has it been that this person has been a real emotional support to their team through the pandemic? Has this person stood up to take on additional responsibilities because they know that whilst that might not fall directly within their job description, it's going to have more of an impact for others. So it could be stepping up to become a trainer, and doing those sorts of things where they are having a wider impact on their colleagues, on the people that they're supporting, their management team, and all those sorts of things.
Clearly, I mean, as we all know, these days, the lack of staff and those kinds of pressures are they're almost universal. It would be hard to find a care setting where that isn't a problem. So when you're nominating someone, talking about what everybody else is going through as well, sometimes doesn't quite fit. It's something about how do you put that icing on the cake, I guess. People under the little paragraph that says evidence, where it says, do you have any evidence? Sometimes people say yes, and that's it. So we want to grow that, because yes, that's great, but it doesn't quite take us to where we need to be.
a company who motivates some staff by ensuring that they help their staff gain qualifications. Qualifications is hugely important in the social care world, and I think any manager who sort of supports their member of staff in gaining those actually adds value to their business. So
no, just to add to that, some of the really great nominations that we've had have not only been detailed, so whether it's been a manager nominating someone that they are leading, there are other professionals around that person. So alongside families, has the provider had direct feedback from a social worker, from an occupational therapist, a speech and language therapist, other people in the team who have spoken up and recognised that person. And I think it's okay to have conversations with people in your teams when you're making a nomination to get that direct feedback, because it all just adds to the richness of the nomination.
The other thing that we will want to encourage people to do is to use the guidance that's actually connected to doing these nominations. And I know that in those guidance notes, one of the things it talks about is we welcome written evidence from those people, not War and Peace, but a couple of pages or a page of evidence is really powerful in this process. It's about what you can read about someone. So if it isn't written down there, you as a judge won't know.
I was just going to say, as far as evidence is concerned, everybody's got compliments that people have received. Might be a little thank you card, or it could be something simple, but it's quite powerful. As Ashleigh said, those little snippets of information help the judges to determine how the one person is more qualifying for the actual award than the next person. So it helps us.
Finally, I think the real difference here is the difference between a team member who is compliant with what they need to do and a team member who is committed. And I think it's those people that you can tell by the little things that they do and contribute that they are truly committed to.